Hey guys, it's Clovis, and today I want to talk about the worst vanilla monster in Duels of the Roses. And I know I've been ranting a lot lately, but this is actually it's a bit of fun really to think about just how imbalanced some of the cards are. And I mean, for fair reason. I mean, not every card just has to be balanced. You know, there's early Yu-Gi-Oh, right? But I just want to get straight into the video, and we do that by contextualizing what a bad monster is. So if you just look at Leo Wizard already, we could already agree that I think without even too much explaining, we can see why this card is bad, right? I mean, think about early Yu-Gi-Oh, right? You think about your 4-star vanilla monsters, the ones with like, you know, 1700 attack, pretty good. 1800 attack 4-star cards very early on in real Yu-Gi-Oh were like meta, and then you had cards like Mechanical Chaser and Gemini Elf. These were like really meta cards because the strategy back then was just you play the best, highest attack card you could possibly play on the first turn and just continue that advantage. And of course, as the original rules dictate, you can play up to 4-star monsters with no tribute. So it just doesn't make sense to play any lower summoning level card unless, for example, for whatever reason, which would be stupid, imagine like a 3-star card that had more attack than any 4-star card. That's not how it works. So generally, we can all agree that the best cards you could play, like vanilla monster wise, in the default game is a 4-star card with good stats. And that is also very close to being true in this game. I will talk a bit more about why fusions matter in a second, which also contextualizes why Leo Wizard is bad. But truthfully, the way the summoning system works in this game, right? Instead of tributes, you start with 4 stars and then you regenerate 3 every single turn. So what happens is, say if your deck is full of 4 stars or lower, you will be able to play any monster you draw on the first turn. And if you assume that all your 4-star cards are like high attack, say you have a deck like all your monsters is Lygian and Gemini Elf, these wouldn't synergize in a deck, but honestly, you know, if you open up, you can be confident that you can play a decent high attack card on your first turn. And that's also true, you know, comparing to other stuff like Blue Eyes. I'm not here to grill Blue Eyes, but yeah, it's a high stat card, but because it costs so much SP to play, you actually have to wait a few turns before you play it. And that's how, you know, the summoning power system is balanced. That's why it's there. You know, you can't just play Blue Eyes White Dragons, 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons in one turn like you can in the first season, because, you know, Seto Kaiba, there's no rules, blah, blah, blah. But, bit of a problem with the SP system in this game. The problem is, if you have any card that is more than 4 SP, you already cannot play it on your first turn. Not only can you not play it, but you literally can't even interact with it on your first turn. So, if all of your monsters in your deck are 5 SP or higher, you cannot play anything on your first turn. So what your play is, say if you have like a Dark Magician in your hand, right, and then some spells and traps is, first turn, you play a spell or a trap, anything that isn't a monster, and then on your second turn, you can play the Dark Magician and whatever else. Now, I'm not saying this is particularly what you should be doing, or if it's that great, or whatever, but I want you to compare that with Leo Wizard, right? I want you to imagine you have 3 Leo Wizards in your deck, you draw them on the first turn. You cannot interact with the Leo Wizard. It's a brick. It's a complete brick in your hand. And then, when you actually can, so, you know, you can bring it on your second turn, you have a monster with 1350 attack and 1200 defense that is 5 stars. This is so bad. I mean, first of all, 1350 and 1200, this should be a 4-star monster. And even if it was, it would be so much worse than the other 4-star monsters that just have more attack. That's just a fact. There is no real defending this card. And I don't know, I could probably talk and compare every single little monster to it, but you don't really need that. Just the fact that it's outright worse than any good 4-star monster, any like half-decent 4-star. Like, this is literally worse than Celtic Guardian. It's Celtic Guardian, but it's harder to play, has 50 less attack, and it's just like, it's just so bad. I mean, who would actually have a Leo Wizard in their deck for any reason other than, you know, a meme? Like, literally, like, I'm recording a footage using it because, just to show, you know, how bad it is. And I don't know, you can beat the enemy with, like, anything in this game. You could beat an enemy with a deck of fucking, tissue paper. But Leo Wizard is just so much worse than, like, any other monster you could put in the deck that I don't even, like, I can't even really use any other examples to compare to it because you don't really need them. Like, I already used Celtic Guardian. That's probably just like one typical example of just like an average 4-star monster that's just better than this card, and it's 5 stars. And it's way more of a difference than if a card is 5 stars rather than 4 for that reason I just gave, in that you cannot play it on the first turn. And remember, you regenerate 3 summoning power every single turn, so if I want to bring out 2 4-star monsters, I can do that within the first 3 turns. But I cannot bring out 2 Leo Wizards in the same way. If I did that, I would be using up literally all the summoning power that I have in those 3 turns. Whereas, maybe a better analogy is what? Across 4 turns, you could play, you start with 4, you regenerate 3 times. You could play 4 Celtic Guardians and have, 3 Celtic Guardians and have 1 more point left over. But with Leo Wizard, you could only play 2 of them. Yeah, you'd have a few leftover points, but I mean, do you really want to spend these turns regenerating summoning power to play a Leo Wizard? Because, I mean, if you're going to do that, you just may as well play a better 5-star card, like a Parrot Dragon, or a Cursor Dragon. These are dragons with 2000 attack. I mean, that's obviously outright way better. Not only that, but when you talk about, like, more complex parts of the games, like leader abilities, you can reduce the summoning power of a card like Cursor Dragon and Parrot Dragon. And I know Cursor Dragon's a effect monster, but let's just treat it like that card doesn't have an effect, okay? Just imagine it doesn't, or we could just focus on Parrot Dragon. Parrot Dragon, right? 7 more deck costs than this. It has way better compatibility, like, with equips and stuff like this. I mean, it's just 650 more attack and 100 more defense. Not that it's even relevant, but it's just, in every way, shape, or form, a card like Parrot Dragon that isn't even like the best card in the game, like it's okay, is just better. And then you consider the synergy with Dragon deck leaders. I've already done heaps of videos on this, right? You can potentially play Parrot Dragon for 3 stars. Then it becomes like an absolute beast, like a 3-star 2000 attack. Like the potential is there, the synergy is there, this unlocked, this untapped hidden power, but Leo Wizard doesn't have that. Leo Wizard has absolutely nothing going for it, right? If you think about fusion material for like anything that involves a spellcaster, one example is Ushi Oni, right? If you fuse 1500 attack spellcaster with a rock, you will get Ushi Oni. But Leo Wizard doesn't make the threshold, and you actually have 4-star cards that will make that fusion with Ushi Oni. Another example, let's say you want to make a Blackland Fire Dragon. It's 1500 attack, 4-star dragon. You can do that with literally Unhappy Maiden. Just 1-star spellcaster or 2-star spellcaster with any 2-star dragon. And then you will make a card that is higher attack than Leo Wizard and less summoning level with that. And you can do this with so many things. And it's just like, again, compare Leo Wizard to a card like, I don't know, La Moon that has 1200 attack, it's 1700 defense, so it's still pretty bad. I mean, you could argue it's better at defending in a game that, defending is useless. But at least with La Moon, you can fuse it to make the female fusions. You can fuse, for example, La Moon with any rock and you'll make Mystical Sand. Leo Wizard has absolutely nothing salvageable about it. Anything you would use Leo Wizard for, there are just way, way, way better cards. And this is literally the worst vanilla card in the entire game, and that is why. Thanks for listening to my ramble and watching this gameplay footage of Leo Wizard. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.